Hi everyone, welcome back to C programming tutorial series. In my last video I completed the discussion on keywords. If you guys have not seen that video, I just recommend you guys to watch that video as well, and you will find that video in the same playlist. And in this video I'm going to discuss on the concept of constants, which is a very important concept in C programming. Okay, so before coming to today's topic, I just want to tell you guys that if you guys like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and if you guys have any queries, then let me know in the comment section. So now let us start our discussion on the concept of constants in C. Okay, variables having fixed values that don't change and cannot be changed throughout the execution of the program once initialized are called constants. Okay, so whenever we will be writing any program, we will be using different types of data in that program. We will be using integer data, float data, character data, string data, and to store these different types of data, we create different types of variables. Okay, and the value of these variables will be keep on changing with each and every execution of the program. But there are some other types of variables which we used to call as constant variables. Okay, unlike a normal variable whose value will be keep on changing with each and every execution, the value of the constant variables doesn't get changed throughout the execution. Once any value is been assigned to any constant variable in the program, you cannot change that value to something else in each and every execution. If you tries to change the value of the constant variable, the compiler will give you an error. Okay, so the constant variable are a type of variables whose value cannot be changed once it is initialized in the program. Okay, next point is there might be some data whose values remain constant throughout the program execution. Such variables are known as constant variables. Okay, the same point which I have told you. Okay, so while writing down the program, you might have used constant variable and you might have assigned a value to that constant variable. Once you have initialized any value to that constant variable, then you cannot further change that value during execution. Such variables are called as constant variables. So the values assigned to variables are known as literals. Okay, as you can see here, I have written down an example which indicates how a constant variable used to declare in a program. So constant variable always used to declare with the const keyword followed by the data type and followed by the name of the variable, and I have assigned value of 3.142. okay, so this value 3.142 is called as literal. Okay, and the name of the constant variable is pi, whose data type is float. Okay, so this 3.142 value is known as literal. So this is how we can set the constant value in our program. A number, a character, a string of characters, an array, a structure, a union, a pointer, and an enum can be set as a constant. Okay, so in your program you can set anything as a constant. You can set a character as a constant, you can set a number, a string of characters, an array as a constant, you can set a structure as a constant, a union as a constant, and pointers, and then enum as well. Okay, that means you can set these many things as a constant in your program. There are two ways by which we can use constants in programs. Okay, so there are two ways by which you can use constants in your program. One of the ways is using const keyword, which I have just shown you here in this example, and another method is using the hash define preprocessor. Okay, so let me just show you these two ways with the help of an example. So here I have written down a simple example, a program to find the area of a circle. So as you can see here, the program gets started with the declaration of a constant variable. Okay, so the first method is using the const keyword. So this is how you can set the constant variable, and you can assign the value using the const keyword. And then in second line you can see I have set the value of 5 to the radius using the hash define preprocessor. Okay, so these are the two ways by which you can set the constants in your program. Okay, so the value of pi I have included in this expression, and the value of radius I have referred here in this formula. Okay, so these are the two ways by which you can use the constants in your program. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood what is constant and what will happen if you set any value to constant variable. Okay, and we have seen what are those various two ways by which we can set the constant variable. So let me just move ahead to discuss what are the various categories of constants. Next, you can see I have taken a diagram here which will give us an idea how constants are categorized. So constants are categorized into two categories. First one is numeric constants, second one is character constants, and numeric constants are further divided into integer constants and real constants, and character constants are further divided into single character constants and string constants. Okay, so we will see each and every of these categories in detail one by one. Okay, so numeric constants are of two types, as I have said, integer constants and real constants. So first let us see what is integer constants. An integer constants refers to a sequence of digits. Okay, so any digit or a sequence of digit can be considered as a integer constants. There are three types of integers, namely decimal integers, octal integers and hexadecimal integers. So let us first see what is decimal integers. Decimal integers consist of set of digits 0 through 9 preceded by an optional negative or positive sign. Okay, so decimal integers will have the range from 0 to 9, and these decimal integers can have positive or negative constants. Okay, for example 123, okay, and then minus 321. Here you can see there is a negative sign, so 123 can be considered as a constant, minus 321 can be considered as a constant, 0 can be considered as a constant, and then 6,54,321, which means sequence of digits here we have used, so this can be called as a constant, and then plus 17. Okay, so all these are the examples of decimal integer constants. Next we will move ahead to see an octal integer constants. So octal integers comes within the range from 0 to 7. Okay, so here you can see I have written down few examples. 037. Okay, so 037 is an example of octal integer. 0435 is an octal integer, and then 0551. Okay, so these are the examples of octal integers. Next we will see what are hexadecimal integers. So a sequence of digits preceded by 0 small x or 0 capital X is considered as hexadecimal integers. Okay, so hexadecimal numbers will come in the range from 0 to F, numerical numbers from 0 to 9, and then alphabets from 10 to 15, which is 10A, 11B, 12C, 13D, 14E, 15F. These are the hexadecimal integers, and here you can see I have written down an example for hexadecimal integers. 0 capital X2, 0 small x 9F, okay, 0xbcd. So these are the examples of hexadecimal integers. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood that integer constants are of three types: decimal integers, octal integers and hexadecimal integers. Now let us move ahead to discuss the second type of numerical constants, which is real constants. Integer numbers are inadequate to represent numbers such as distances, heights, temperatures, prices. Okay, so in many cases where we might have the requirement of represent the data in the form of decimal using floating point, so in those cases integer numbers will become inadequate to use. So to represent such type of requirement in our program, we will use real constants, which allow us to represent the data in the form of decimal, the fractional forms. Okay, so these values are represented with fractional part. Okay, such numbers are called as real or floating constants, like 0.0083, minus 0.75, 435.36. Any number with decimal value or any sequence of number with decimal value comes under the real constants. Okay, now let us move ahead to discuss second category of constants, which is character constants. And character constants, as we guys have seen, are also divided into two subsections like single character constants and string constants. Single character constants. A single character constant contains a single character enclosed within a pair of single quote mark. Okay, so whenever you use single character constants in your program, you will be using only single letter, only one letter enclosed by single quote. Okay, and you can make any character, alphabetical character as a character constant, single character constant, or a semicolon, or any number as well you can represent in the form of character constant. Okay, next is string constants. A string constant is a series of characters enclosed in double quotes. You may have the requirement that you want to set a string or a sequence of letters as a constant in your program. So in that case you can use string constants, which allows you to make sequence of letters as a constant. So the characters may be letters, numbers, special characters, and blank spaces. So while making a string constant, you can use a sequence of characters, numbers, sequence of numbers also you can set as a string constant, or you can combine the letters and numbers as a string constant, or you can write a sentence as well in the form of a string constant. Okay, so this is everything about constants in C. So in this video we have seen everything about constants, started with the definition of constants and the syntax and the various types of using constants in our programs. Okay, and then later on we move on to discuss various categories of constants, and we also see each and every of those categories in detail. Okay, so I'm sure with this one video you guys might have got the clear understanding about constants, what are constants and how you can use constants, and what are the various categories of constants in C programming. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood. I hope you guys have got the clear-cut understanding about this concept. Okay, so if you guys like this video, click on like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and if you guys have any queries, then let me know in the comment section. Okay, and thanks for watching.